This boy was born without hands. One day, he finally got a donation from someone else. However, no one in the hospital dared to perform the surgery. The director had to invite a doctor from China. The boy didn't believe in the doctor's ability. The doctor spent 3 days and 3 nights educating him about the procedure. Finally, the boy agreed to undergo the surgery, but when the operation began, the doctor didn't start cutting for a long time. He kept muttering something. It turned out he was mentally simulating the surgery. To prevent unexpected situations during the operation, the surgery proceeded smoothly. The boy's new hands were successfully transplanted. However, during the examination of the hands, there was no blood flow in the boy's right hand. It was blocked by a blood clot. Fortunately, the doctor had anticipated this, quickly used a scalpel to open the boy's arm, successfully removing the blocked blood clot. The boy finally got his new hands. A gentle touch by the doctor, and the man's toe snapped off. An hour ago, the intern doctor was doing routine rounds, and was surprised to find that the patient scheduled for surgery the next day was ignoring the preoperative fasting instructions, and still eating fries. The surgery had to be postponed. When the doctor was examining, a strange, foul smell filled the air. The doctor lightly touched the blackened toe, and the necrotic toe directly fell to the ground. The chubby man was scared, and ready to complain to the attending doctor, only to be told that it was gangrene. The surgery was meant to amputate the entire foot. Despite his fear, the chubby man still asked,
"What do you think they got for dessert?"
His amputated left foot soaked in a jar, and the doctor bought a pizza to apologize to the chubby guy. However, he wasn't a fan of pineapple pizza.
All right. Give it to the nurses then.
You leave with that pizza, and I'll put one of your feet in the jar.
Do you like pineapple pizza? After a manicure, poor girl ended up losing her arm. After a deluxe manicure package, she noticed an infection in her fingers. Dr. Sean removed the abscess, but the slightest touch brought unbearable pain. He sensed something wasn't right. If anesthesia didn't ease the pain, it meant bone pain. He suspected necrotizing fasciitis and suggested testing by sampling. However, the female doctor opposed the idea, worried it could cause permanent damage to the fingers of the girl. A talented violinist, Sean persistently advised the girl to undergo testing, but both of them brushed off his concerns. Meanwhile, the girl's temperature kept rising, indicating a more serious condition. Eventually, a sample was taken for testing, confirming Sean's diagnosis. Urgent surgery was needed, with hopes of saving the girl's hand, but the outlook was bleak. The necrotic tissue emitted a foul odor resembling rotten eggs. To save her life, doctors had no choice but to amputate. In the hospital room, the female doctor, burdened with guilt, sat by the girl's side as she slowly regained consciousness.
It's your fault. Get the hell out.
A man undergoes cosmetic surgery, adding sideburns, a beard, and chest hair to please his 80-year-old wealthy girlfriend. Initially, he had secured the affection of a rich older woman when he was just 20, but her tastes changed, now favoring a more rugged look. At her request, the man compromises his preferences for financial security. He is then wheeled into the operating room, where the doctor performs a facelift, implants sideburns and a beard on his cheeks, and adds chest hair. Satisfied with the results, the man decides to leave the wealthy woman. As he packs his bags, she rushes in.
Don't you want that new Bentley that's parked outside? It was going to be your welcome home gift.
To sweeten the deal, the woman offers to double his monthly allowance. Faced with the allure of money and the desire for freedom, the man hesitates, reminded by the woman that she won't live forever.
Promise?
However, at night, the man experiences seizures and dies in bed. A few days later, the wealthy woman arrives at the hospital with her new boyfriend. The pregnant woman faced a life-threatening difficult delivery. The midwife adjusted the baby's position directly. Just a bit ago, the lady doc's water suddenly burst. Her crew whisked her into the delivery room, but the baby was being stubborn. The doctor checked, saw the lady's blood pressure skyrocketing, the baby playing hide-and-seek in the birth canal. The doctor suggested a C-section right away, but the lady wasn't feeling it. Then there's Black Girl, the badass midwife, piping up, saying a C-section wasn't the vibe just yet.
Questioning my judgment? I'm her midwife, and I don't think cutting it to her is a good idea yet. Are you going to listen to her or your obstetrician?
Black Girl's all like, I can fix this baby position drama. The woman's like, sure, why not? Fast forward, baby's position is back on track.
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Black Girl tells the lady to take some deep breaths and push. Baby makes a grand entrance, but the umbilical cord played ring around the neck. The baby wasn't breathing. The doc works some magic to save the day. Finally, the baby belted out a cry. Black Girl hands over the little dude to the relieved mom. An icicle suddenly dropped, piercing into the abdomen of the female doctor. Upon Upon witnessing the situation, colleagues hurriedly went to find help. Luckily, a military doctor fortuitously crossed paths, swiftly escorted her to the hospital. Although the doctor assured the Icicle had not harmed any internal organs, skepticism lingered among her colleagues, prompting them to conduct a series of examinations. When the test results came out, they showed the same findings as the female doctor had mentioned. As the Icicle neared its melting point, the potential for infection loomed if contaminated water infiltrated her body. Despite the looming threat, her colleagues hesitated to take action. Fortunately, the military doctor returned, casting an affectionate gaze upon the female doctor. Continuing, he inquired with the female doctor about the lack of assistance in removing the Icicle. What should have been a swift process lasting a few seconds spiraled into a series of extensive examinations. Do you have such timid colleagues? First, the left leg is removed, then the right leg is attached. Thus the mermaid is born. It was discovered the man had a sarcoma in his left pelvic bone. He was given a mere 2 years to live. The only available treatment was to amputate the affected area. However, he adamantly rejected the surgery, fearing a life dependent on crutches. In a unique twist, the female doctor proposed an unconventional solution, amputating the man's healthy right leg, affixing it at the midpoint to maintain body balance. Surprisingly, the man agreed to this unconventional procedure. Soon, he was wheeled into the operating room. The surgical team commenced by removing his left leg, extracting the diseased bone. Subsequently, they detached his healthy right leg, skillfully sewing it at the midpoint, secured screws into the bones. The first artificial mermaid was thus created. This thin man weighs 666 pounds, so obese the nurses can't find his veins. An hour prior, the hospital received the overweight man, who complained of severe stomach pain. It required 10 doctors to transport him to the ward. The doctor lifted the thin man's abdominal skin, revealing a long-standing state of mold and decay. Then, the man's girlfriend hurried into the room, prompting astonished expressions from the medical staff, especially considering their own relationship statuses. As the medical team geared up for further examinations, they faced a new challenge at the doorway. The man's oversized bed hindered by the frame. Despite not having left his bed in a year, the overweight man made a bold decision to challenge himself. This choice triggered deep concern in his girlfriend, but he unexpectedly stood up. The overweight man seized his chance.
I could do this.
Oh my God, baby!
Clasping his girlfriend's hand, readying himself for a proposal. However, before he could speak, he stumbled, his slim ankles betraying him. Unexpectedly, he also fractured an ankle. The doctor recommended a CT scan, but his weight exceeded the machine's limit. They resorted to an animal scanner, designed for rhinos. The results disclosed various complications, including a sizable abdominal abscess. The surgery had a 90% failure rate. When the doctor shared this news, the overweight man would rather face death than undergo the procedure. Out of the blue, his girlfriend emerged, disclosing she was expecting, prompting the man to willingly agree to the surgery. It concluded successfully. Post-surgery, he pledged to his partner,
I need to lose the weight.
"Would you be willing to marry a man like this?"